Well, hello, once again. I'm Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures. Today we are doing another adventure out here on the battlefield of Gettysburg. Today we are looking at secret carvings and hidden gems on the battlefield. Now, today we are at our first stop. On the way up to Little Round Top on Confederate Avenue, there's a stone bridge, and this stone bridge has a hidden gem. So this is what the bridge looks like. It's right on Confederate Avenue as we go up Little Round Top. So let me go out here outside and I'll show you the hidden gem here at the battlefield. So if you go to the left side of the road and follow the stone bridge, and you go up here to the end, there will be a hidden gem. It's been a while since I've been out here, so let me find, and I have found it. Okay, we are at the the fifth rock from the end of the bridge. There's a hidden gem, and here it is. We have an actual fossil of a dinosaur. Yes, right here. This is a raptor dinosaur print. And it's built into the stone right here on the battlefield of Gettysburg. So I thought I'd show you that. So if you're ever out here, stop and see it. It's pretty neat. So what we're going to do now is we're going to continue on to our next stop, which will be on top of Little Round Top. And I'll show you some secret carvings there. And our adventure will continue. Here we are standing in front of a marker, and it reads, Little Round Top, large rocks and the stone breastwork thrown up during the battle protected Union soldiers here from Confederate sharpshooters and around Devil's Den across the valley. Also, the rocks provided secure firing positions for Union sharpshooters. A Civil War sharpshooter using a rifle equipped with a scope could kill an enemy soldier at 1,000 yards. The Confederate sharpshooters at Devil's Den were only 500 yards from here, which is off in the distance. Now it says, Union sharpshooters and infantry crept on hands and knees to avoid flying lead. For officers, it was more difficult to keep down. Brigadier General Stephen H. Weed, commander of the 2nd Union Brigade, to arrive on the scene, fell mortally wounded. A sharpshooter's bullet here on July 2nd. Now this is a picture of Brigadier General Stephen H. Weed. It also says, when Lieutenant Charles E. Hazlitt, commander of the cannon to your left, which is right here, this set of cannons, answered the call of the dying Weed. A bullet penetrated his brain and he fell dead in Weed's lap. Now the hidden gem here is behind me. A lot of people don't know it's here. Behind this monument, the 91st Regiment, Pennsylvania Volunteers, is a rock. And you can't see it now, but it used to be a carving here. Let me see, I might be at the wrong location. Possibility. No, I'm at the right location. I'm just having a hard time finding it. For some strange reason, the markings aren't here anymore. used to be a marking right here, right behind this monument that showed the exact location where this happened. It was in this general area. I don't know what happened to it or why it isn't here now, but this was here a year ago. The carving is no longer there. So we will continue to our next stop. I wanted to show you something as we go around this loop here by Devil's Den. There's a big boulder over here. And it's known as Elephant Rock. I don't know if you can see it in the distance. It's the biggest one out there, and it looks like an elephant. Now, as we go around this loop, we're going up toward the sharpshooter's den. There's a hidden gem up here above Devil's Den, and I'm going to show you that hidden gem. As we go up behind the boulders, to my right here is the famous sharpshooter's den, where a soldier was dragged from another position by Matthew Brady, photographer, and was laid there for a picture to be taken. Now, as we go up the top here, we're coming to the very top of the hill, right here above Devil's Den. I'm gonna have to find a spot to pull over and walk back. But the thing I want to show you is right here in this general location, right here. So let me pull over here and park. And I will show you the hidden gem and tell you the story about that. Okay, we parked here. Over here to my left is the famous triangular field. Is believed to be haunted. There's many ghost stories about this field here. And Jim, I'm getting ready to show you is kind of the same idea. So we'll go over here and I'll show you. So we're standing on the Confederate side of the Battle of Little Round Top. So this is where the Confederate Army would have been. Here amongst these rocks, known as Devil's Den, and they would charge in that general area up to the Little Round Top. Now over here behind these two cannons by this giant witness tree here that was here during the battle, there's a rock, and I'm going to show you that rock and tell you the story. I just got to locate it, and here we are. Up on this rock, there's a carving, and the carving is P. Noel. See if you can see that. Now, the story behind this goes, there are actually two stories. The most believing story, and probably the most true, is there was a battlefield superintendent that took care of the monuments, whose name was Paul Noel, or Peter Noel. For reasons unknown for himself, he's the one that carved this, because it's a perfect carving, was probably a tool used. So that's probably what this is. But there's also another legend that goes with this. The legend goes that there was a farm girl in this area, close to here, named Pauline Noel. She liked to go out on the trips with her father across the fields that he farmed. And before the battle, this was the fields that this farmer had used for farming. It's very rocky here. As you can see in Pennsylvania, there's a lot of boulders and rocks from the glaciers. The story goes that his daughter and him were out on a regular visit to the fields when the carriage wheel hit this exact rock, flipping Pauline out of the wagon, in which her father ran over her body, decapitating her. Now, when the father found the helpless body of Pauline Noel, she was already gone. The wagon wheel had ran over her neck and decapitated her. There's many ghostly stories here that some nights you can see Pauline wandering these fields without a head, looking for this rock that she had been killed with, and she took her ghostly finger and carved into this rock her name, Pauline Noel. Now it's said, and I won't do it because I know someone who did and had a lot of bad luck. You take your finger and you trace the letters of this name, that you will have instant bad luck. We won't try that today. I'm not superstitious. I don't believe the legend, but I sure am not going to try it just in case. So follow me and we'll go to our next location and we'll continue our story there. Now there are only two monuments out here on the battlefield that actually have a dog on it. This is an Irish Wolfhound dog, and this monument is to the New York Infantry Irish Brigade. So I wanted to show you that because we're going to stop at the other monument that also has a dog on it, and there's a story to tell about the next monument. When we arrive to that monument, I'll tell you the story. But I wanted to stop by here and show you this other monument because there's only two of them out here with the dog on it. So follow me on our adventure and we'll continue. On the way into town to our next spot, I wanted to stop here on Baltimore Street and show you something. Now this house on 304 Baltimore Street, if we look up to the right of this window, I hope you can see it. There's a cannonball lodged into the wall there. Now, they have disarmed it and taken out the fuse, but have left the cannonball right there in the wall where it was lodged during the battle. So I thought I'd show you that. And there's a few more places around town that has other cannonballs stuck in them. So follow me as I go on and show you some more hidden gems on the battlefield. We're standing in front of a monument of the 90th Pennsylvania 2nd Brigade, 2nd Division, 1st Corps. And the reason we're here is I wanted to show you something. It's a really neat monument. It represents a tree with a knapsack, a cartridge box, a rifle, a canteen. Now at the very top of this monument, there's a bird's nest with a bird on it. The story goes, during the battle here on Oak Ridge, which was the first day's battle, part of it, is the Union Army was here engaged at the Confederate Army, which was in the lower area of the fields there coming this way, when a cannonball struck a tree nearby here, knocking a baby bird out of its nest. And it's said that the soldier, during the battle, picked up the bird and put it back into its nest. Now, whether this is true or not, it's a legend, I don't know. But also, it is said that it could just mean a symbol, meaning during the midst of battle, even after and before and during the war, that life still goes on. And if you see at the top, there is a cannonball at the top which struck the tree, so there might be some truth behind this. Also, across the street, in this distance, is known Iverson's Pit. General Iverson of the Southern Unit was taking his men across this field with the Union Army standing behind these rocks. Out there in the distance, there's a stone which represents the general area that the Confederate line was fired upon. 300 men of Iverson's brigade was shot down dead in perfect dress parade and were buried right here, right along the ridge here where the rock and monument is out there, represents Iverson's Pits. Now it's said that years later, the farmer said his men wouldn't stay out here after dark because the area was haunted. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. This is the only true known legend of a ghost tale of Gettysburg. Now, the men lied there until the 1870s when the South, the ladies of the Confederates, came up and retrieved the bodies and they were taken and buried down south. But along with this story, there's another monument right up here that I'm going to show you. And remember we was talking about the second dog monument on the battlefield? We're getting ready to visit a very famous dog. So follow me on this adventure as we continue with secret gems of the battlefield.